Hey everyone, this is Dave from DC Swimbaits. Winter's here. I'm going to be heading towards my winter smallmouth fishing. I'm going to be using hard baits and soft baits. I want to show you a hack today how to make the DC Swimbaits 6.5-inch shad into a line through swim bait. It's going to be a bottom hook. You're going to take the DC shad and you're going to glue this shut. Take your favorite soft bait glue, completely glue it shut. Make sure it's solid, firm, like the hook slot's not there. Then you're going to take 3 aftermarket screw locks. This is a 5mm. This is way too big. We don't need all that screw lock to make this line through bait. I'm going to cut it right in half. We're then going to take our bait, this one's pre-glued, and we're just going to take that half of the 5mm, you could use 3mm, you're probably going to cut them shorter. We don't need all that holding power for this hard head. We're then going to center it up on the bait. Just take a look at it where you like it. You're going to turn it back 1/8 of an inch and start screwing it in. You're going to screw it in, get it parallel with the bait. Then you're going to take another screw lock, put it right down here in the chin. This all isn't super vital. One of the most important parts of this is if you're fishing real shallow rivers like I am, I got this a little bit lower off the nose. And what that does is it causes the bait to ride a little higher, which helps me in strong current and shallow water. If you're fishing deeper water, I'd put it right up on the turn right there. But that little adjustment right there makes a difference. We're then going to take another screw lock, put it right at the bottom of the chin. I like staying right in here because there's still some of the hard material here. Once again, we're going to center it. Before we screw it in, turn it back 1/8, screw it right in there. It's as simple as can be. You now have 2 screw locks lined up in the center of the bait. We're now going to take the Mustad Titan X Nico weights, tungsten. If you don't have any of these, you need them. They're just great for any soft bait mods. They got great holding power and when it goes into good plastic. We're then going to choose where we want them in here, behind the hook slot. Just screw them right in. Get them centered though. Center is the most important thing on this. There is a parting line you should see on our baits. You're going to screw these in. You're going to get to a point it starts getting really tight. You're going to want to take a pair of pliers and get your final turns in. You're going to want it flush with the bait, but you don't want to over tighten it. You don't want the weight pulling on the plastic at all times. You just want it snug to the bait. You're going to take another one. These are 3/16, but you can play with this. You can do whatever you want to make different sink rates. Choose a spot from here to the fin. I like putting it back towards the fin. It starts helping this bait. Instead of the typical 45-degree fall, we start getting a rocking back and forth fall with the weights farther back. And I really like that in the current. It just gives it a natural shimmy. And also the mirrored finishes really start kicking out when it's rocking back and forth. Take your second Nico weight, screw it right in. Center of the bait. Once again, it starts getting tight. You might have the finger strength to push it farther in. I like just taking pliers, do the final turn, turn and a half. Once again, try not to over tighten it just because it's always pulling on the plastic then. We then take one more screw lock, cut in half, and we're going to place it right here. Right where the divot is when you usually have the 12/0 or beast hook. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it at an angle going towards the tail. Start screwing it in. Get it in there. You want the last part of the screw lock, the turn, facing towards the nose. You're now going to take a pair of pliers. We're going to use these right here. This is just a rod wrench that I have. We're going to cut it. When we cut it, we're then going to pull the centering pin out of the bait. What we have now is a keeper for your treble hook. I like using number 2s or number 3s. It's a personal preference. So what we end up with here is a line through swim bait. Swims perfectly at all speeds. I'd call this a medium sink to a medium slow. If you take out this front Nico weight, you now have a super slow sink swim bait. I haven't played too much with lightening these up, but you could probably get this thing to a 0 that'll float. So now what we have here is a line through swim bait. Works perfect. I've fished this for years, probably 13 years I fished this rig. It was shown to me by Bob King, who originally was part of the Bob King lineup when he was selling some swim baits. People kind of just forgot about it after Bob stopped selling them, but I just kept doing it to all different brands of weedless swim baits because I enjoy bottom hook swim baits. But that third screw lock we put in is a keeper. It holds that in there. As you can see, it's solid as can be. Then we're not tearing up our plastic, and we get good longevity off of these baits like this.